There is nothing. Only warm primordial blackness. You're conscious ferments in it. No larger than a single grain of malt. You don't have to do anything anymore. Ever. Never, ever. Never, ever, ever, baby. An inordinate amount of time passes. It is only void of struggle. No ex-wives are contained within it. Yes, it is.
An awareness creeps up on you. A mass lies hidden in your dead anger, soaking in some lurid acidic sauce. It's bloated and shameful, a ball of meat surrounding you. This is a terrible line of questioning, and it will only lead to more awareness of the meat thing.
Ex-love, ex-tenderness. It is foolish of you to resurface to the loss. Not after all the damage you've suffered to get here. Some of it irreversible. Stay. Sail with me through the abyss of pelagic zone. Do you really?
You wouldn't like it if I told you what was back there. Why'd you think you had to bludgeon yourself into oblivion? Or did you not sense yourself marinating? Poured so much of yourself, got a bit carried away, did we, Chef?
Fear and apprehension. You should ask what's out there first.
There's this giant ball there, in evil apes, and the evil apes are juking it out on the ball. You're one of them. It's basically all just evil apes juking it out on a giant ball. You can't even make out it's a ball when you're juking it out. It's that large. Can't even make out it's a ball when you're juking it out. It's that large. Infinitesimally small.
Here's the thing.
Vying for resources is a stupid expression you picked up somewhere. The part of the presentation you want to take home with you is this. You have to beat the other evil apes in the face, or you lose.
Somewhere in the sore, bloated man-meter around you. A sensation. Like a fly to the ointment. Your conscience sticks to it. The limbed and headed machine of pain and undignified suffering is firing up. up again. It wants to walk the desert. hurting, longing, dancing to disco music.
A stench of liquor rises from your mouth, and with it, an ungodly headache. A fiery streak penetrates your skull, trying to force your eyes open. It's a sound, like a clarion call from hell.
The window stands broken in its frame. Cold wind blows in. The morning light hurts your eyes. It's hazy, but you see the ocean and some war-torn buildings. What do you mean, assess the damage? How would you do that? What are you even trying to do? The morning light hurts your eyes. It's hazy, but you see the ocean and some war-torn buildings. You hear a jingle. Keys are clinking in the pocket of your flare-cut pants. It says, whirling in rags, on the aluminium keyring. There is a single key on the ring. The number 1 is etched on it. It should open the door. mirror hangs above a bent and broken sink. In a fierce discharge of masculine energy, someone has ripped half the faucet off. Hot water sprays from the base, and steam covers the mirror. You cannot see yourself, just the outline of a man. Suddenly, you realize you have no memory of the face that awaits you there, underneath the soft vapor. As you slowly reach your hand towards the surface of the mirror. Abort! You clearly have not thought this through. You won't like what you see there, and you will never unbecome it. Behold. You have no idea who this thing is, do you? Whatever it is, at least it's dead now. There's clearly rigor mortis on your face. Oh wait, is that an expression? Are you trying to make an expression with that face? Please stop. It's horrible. You're scaring yourself. You can't, can you? It's like it's not even voluntary anymore. You have worn that grin onto your face, and now it won't come off. What does it even mean? What is the emotion you're trying to convey? Please promise yourself you are not going to try it on any of the ladies, whatever happens. You lie. You can't even tell the truth to yourself. Go ahead. Try something. Like the rest of you, it comes from a bad place somewhere in the past. That's all you know for now. This fan has two chain pull switches. One ends in a tiny fan, the other in a light bulb. A truly horrific necktie has somehow attached itself to one of the blades. The blades come squeaking to a halt. It should be easier to reach the tie now. You swoop up and catch the tie. Snap! It's released from the blade. What you have in your hand is a truly hideous necktie, with 4 or 5 different patterns. The knot reminds you of a noose. A terrible mistake. Turn the lights off immediately. You can practically feel the photons burning a hole in your brain. It's just a little hangover-induced photosensitivity. Don't overreact. The lights are off. The switch must be broken because nothing happens. The air in the room is starting to feel like vaporized urine. The window stands broken in its frame. Cold wind blows in. The shards face outward. Whatever broke this window came from the inside. A fine web of scarring covers the back of your right hand, but none of it is recent. More likely a projectile than a held object. There are no fragments on the floor from pulling a tool back in after impact. It is too large for a bullet, yet too small for a piece of furniture. You're looking for something heavy and larger than your fist. Like the green shoe that's on the hat rack in the corner, which, coincidentally, is missing its friend. Congratulations, you smashed the window with your own shoe. Now you only have one. If you're lucky, you can still find the other on the balcony outside. The door to it should be outside your room. A cool wind gushes in. Your toes curl up from the cold. There they both are, two identical shoes, both copiously green and indiscriminately snakeskin, reunited on your feet. Like two baby crocodiles. Good, they're balanced, comfy. Feels like the only good thing about you right now, truth be told. The young woman raises a cigarette to her lips.
No. Because you're a police officer, so... I am, yes. Unless you've been feeding us a set of very well-rehearsed lies all this time. You've been here for 3 days, on official police business, no less. I couldn't say. In truth, so far, mostly drinking.
Try the expression. Come on, why are you still doing this?
Alcohol raises testosterone levels, especially in men. The levels remain elevated after inebriation ends and the pain begins. You seek comfort. It's only natural.
She puts out her cigarette. She looks back at you, a light glinting off her eyes.
And now, it never stops. Goodbye.
You should pick that fat, juicy cigarette butt from the tray, light it up, and smoke the living shit out of it. Who knows what you are? A monster, a murderer, the gnome of Jeroma? You feel like a smoker, especially when you look at that juicy, succulent, seductive cigarette stub, still smoldering deliciously. How very astute of you. This renders it ineffectual. You should look for a whole cigarette, or better yet, an entire pack. Strike that, a carton. Make sure they're all healthy and able-bodied, then smoke them all. Good. They'll make you stronger and better. You're too old to be cool now, but find cigarettes, smoke them, blam. Instantly a cool renegade man, a mystical red dragon with smoke rising from his nostrils. Plus, smoking them gives massive bonuses. The door is closed. There is no answer. You hear the shower being turned on, somewhere inside. A tremendous loneliness comes over you. Everybody in the world is doing something without you. The door does not care. Still no answer. Still nothing. You should punch a fucking hole in it. You slam your fist into the vinyl. It does not produce a hole. The door sits sturdily in the frame, and your fist hurts. This was all a very good, normal thing to do. Not to mention, great exercise. This door can only be opened with a key or from the inside. As you hold the metal, you sense the warmth left there by her hand. door is closed. Still nothing. You should punch a fucking hole in it. You slam your fist into the vinyl. Not to mention, great exercise. You should totally sing karaoke. The first chance you get. Your emotions need to be expressed. People need to know your vast, oceanic soul. Of course, at this point, precise measurements of your soul can only be performed from the outside. It needs to be heard. Through a PA system. By other people, whether they like it or not. Ram it up their ears, says your adrenaline gland. Violently express yourself. You have not yet stumbled on the right lamentation, but it's out there. It'll come to you. You will wreak havoc with it. Don't worry. No. Don't sing the happy song. It's stupid. Sing the sad song. It's profound. You have to find something tragic to sing first, though. You have not yet stumbled on the right lamentation, but it's out there. It'll come to you. You will wreak havoc with it. Don't worry. Serves them right. Wipe that smirk off their face with your sad, tragic song. Who's laughing now? No one. You have to find something tragic to sing first, though.
Hello, sweetie. You shouldn't keep your colleague waiting.
was disdain in his eyes. Even now he's purposely ignoring you.
Look, your buddy is over there. Why don't you go and talk to him, okay? Oh no, you're a hero. A real hero cop.
Could the massive property damage upstairs have anything to do with this?
Yes, you are. A real decorated hero. What did you not do? First you took the body down, then you solved the murder, then you didn't trash my hostel room. Maybe you even negotiated the strike. No, you see, actually, you didn't. You haven't done anything even remotely useful since you got here. No, I haven't seen you around. I'm not always here. No, I'm not the bartender. I'm the cafeteria manager. I have 3 cafeterias to manage. 3. Sylvie tends the bar here, not me. I'm only standing in. She just, you know. No, I'm not the bartender. I'm the cafeteria manager. That period of my life is over. Not everyone who stands behind a counter is a bartender, okay? I'm the cafeteria manager. I have 3 cafeterias to manage. Oh no!
Could the massive property damage upstairs have anything to do with this?
Am I? Or did you ride in, take the body down, solve the murder, and not trash my hostel room? You're right, you didn't, and it's only taken you 3 days not to. No, I haven't seen you around. I'm not always here. Look, your buddy is over there. Why don't you go and talk to him, okay?
The door is closed. Still nothing. You should punch a fucking hole in it. That felt good. Everyone is a whore. Now punch a hole in the door. You slam your fist into the vinyl. It does not produce a hole. The door sits sturdily in the frame, and your fist, not to mention, great. Still nothing. You should punch a fucking hole in it. That felt good. Everyone is a whore. That felt good. You slam your fist into the vinyl. It does not produce, not to mention, great. That sugary black rum stain on the counter makes you teary-eyed with joy. It's almost touching how syrupy and sticky it is. How long have you been up already? Attaboy. It's coming back to him. You had your mesolimbic reward pathway worried there. Not thinking about drinking all that time. It was like you weren't yourself. Forget about the bar. Or don't forget about it. You should totally try to get a drink there too. But first, you should lick that stain off the counter. Yeah, man. Let's get wild. Lick it. You press your tongue against the counter. The stain is crusted at first, but after a couple of licks, it starts to melt like a snowflake. If snowflakes were made of spiced black rum, maybe it's your imagination, but there's already some lemonade in it too. And it would go well with those cigarettes. That's a great combination. On the counter, rolled out of his open hand, you see a blister pack of headache medicine. You gently shake his shoulder, but nothing happens. This man could probably sleep soundly in a ship's engine room. The man does not mind. You probably need them more than he does. The worker is in a deep slumber.
No, I'm not the bartender. I'm the cafeteria manager. I could if I were a bartender, but I'm not. I'm the cafeteria manager, so I won't. I have 3 cafeterias to manage. 3. She just, you know.
Excuse me. I think you may be the person I've been waiting for. Hello. I'm Kim Kitsuragi, Lieutenant, Precinct 57. You must be from the 41st.
No, you won't. Raphael Ambrosius Cousteau. Sounds solemn and historical. This is an opportunity to start your life anew as a...
Yes, well... It looks like we had a little scheduling error on Sunday. Saturday too, actually. Have you had time to talk to the manager here? No, I don't think so. We should ask him for a rundown of the area, now that I'm here as well. I understand the scene is out back, right? It also wouldn't hurt to assure him the police are finally here. In full force, I mean. Have you mapped out the initial interviews? At the 57th, we like to prepare an initial list of persons of interest, and then just skim the surface. Prepare the field, get to know the players. You don't do that? Maybe it's not an inter-district practice. Okay, we'll have time for that after we take a look at the coroner's case. Have you removed the dead body from the tree? Sure. But did you take it down from the tree? So, the body is still in the tree.
This is the first time you detect a weariness in the lieutenant's voice. It is obvious he would have preferred for the body to no longer be in the tree.
Where it has been hanging for 7 days straight. We should go there as soon as we are done talking to the owner.
What a shame. Get to it now. Rip that body down from the tree.
I was sent here to meet a detective from Precinct 41. You have the insignia of the Citizens Militia on your sleeve and on your back. I suppose you could be impersonating him. You could have gotten the insignia from the book market or forged it. But for now, I'm going to set those possibilities aside. I'm not from the Inspectorate General. Yes. They are not just white rectangles. They bear a halogen watermark with the letters RCM and a pattern resembling the street grid of Revachol West. I would ask you to step into the headlights of my motor carriage, but again, it's none of my concern. I just need you to do your job. You mean you don't have a badge? Losing your identification card is a serious matter. My vehicle has a shortwave. You can use it to report your badge missing. I would advise you to locate it as quickly as possible. But getting the body down should still take precedence. I can see you drank last night and the night before, and that you are still drunk now. But I have seen officers go through worse. Much worse. If you need something for your headache, there is a general store nearby. But as I said, the dead body should be our #1 concern.
A painkiller would be good about now. This thing is pulsating with discomfort. The best cure for a headache is, of course, morphine. They won't have that, so cigarettes will have to do.
Talk to the manager. Then we go out back and take the body down. We all feel that way sometimes. There is no such thing as a police officer, I'm afraid. What remains is that there is a dead body in the tree. Someone has to figure out who put it there. If we don't, no one else will. But first, we have to take it down. After it's been up in a tree for that long, any kind of whipping is inadvisable. After you, officer. What do you want to know? Maybe you can tell me what you do know to help me narrow it down a bit. Do you want me to brief you? 3 days ago, the RCM Emergencies Desk received a report about a security guard who was found hanged in Martinez. An anonymous caller said there was a dead body behind the Whirling in Rags hostel cafeteria. The cadaver had been there for 4 days. No one had come to investigate. During that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. The caller did not identify him, but used the word lynching. There is an ongoing labor dispute between the local dock workers and the logistics company Wild Pines. I was told we should approach the death as part of this dispute. A security guard or worker of some sort, hired by Wild Pines. This was just hearsay from Martinez, of course. We need to find out the truth. To find him or her is one of our tasks here. For now, all we know is that the tone was muffled, using a device of some sort. The desk could identify neither the caller's age nor sex. There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's seen as union matters. The Dock Workers Union is the de facto police in Martinez. Now it appears they've started executing too. We cannot allow that. That's us, the Revachol Citizens Militia. We're the police in this city. That's right. I'm afraid you and I are pawns in a pissing competition. You don't know? I assumed you were in on it. Better still than an imbecile cop-off. It's just stupidity. We shouldn't waste any more time on it. If you want my take, ask me after we've inspected the victim. Later. Was there anything else you wanted to know about the case? No, it's not a particularly mysterious case. The deceased is a security guard for a corporation involved in a labor dispute. It doesn't take a DeLorean polymath to put the pieces together. I just don't see the case getting more mysterious than that. Then you are in luck, because we are in the midst of a major strike by the Dock Workers Union. Maybe more than that. The union clearly wants a piece, not just of the industrial harbor, but the Wild Pines Corporation itself.
Is this a strike then, or the first shot in a workers' coup?
I expect the case itself to be less challenging in navigating these community matters. This district isn't used to the RCM's presence, and the union rarely overplays its hand, as it appears to have done in this case. Strike, coup, revolution, it's brigandage, however you parse it.
You feel something rising through you, a familiar feeling. an opinion taking form.
When I said we have to navigate community matters, I did not mean we have any say in them. I meant we should be careful. If we are not, the shit will blow right in our faces.
From an imaginary fan.
Now, was there anything else you wanted to know about the case? You mean like a brief? Do you want me to brief you again? 3 days ago, the RCM, during that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. Okay then. Was there anything else you wanted to know? Good. Me? I don't see how my life is pertinent to the investigation. That's a fair point. All right, for the good of the investigation, what do you want to know? No. Something the matter, detective?
What's going on? It's like you're a puppet in his hands.
That's correct.
That makes him a Beano-clad, completely uncut material, if you say so yourself.
I can assure you, detective, that I've passed all the required physical exams within the last year.
You may not remember taking any little tests, but you're strong as a goddamn ox. Anyone can see that.
That's good to hear. I have little patience for the swinging dick style of police work. It's patience and intelligence that solves cases. Was there anything else? That's because I'm half Seolite, or quarter. My father's father was from Seoul. So was my grandmother, but from my mother's side. It's not an interesting topic. It's a part of the world, officer. A geopolitical entity and a geographic division. I told you it wouldn't be interesting. You're barking up the wrong tree. I don't speak a word of Seolite. I've never met either one of my grandparents, and I've never been to Seoul. I'm a regular Havasholier. What do you mean? I have no idea what you're talking about.
The lieutenant's conceptualization skills must be rather rudimentary.
I can't say that it does, no. When I need to think, I just use my notebook.
We all have our different mediums. His is written. You're super lucid, yet psychedelic. You don't need office supplies to connect to your nervous system. You're special.
Good. Let's change the subject. Have you tried concentrating on something other than...
There is a sudden, harsh edge to his voice, like he's tired of hearing about your personal affairs.
Fine. We should get through this day first. Off hours begin at 9 p.m. If you're still having trouble then, I can give you an orientation. Not a fan. It's just the nature of lieutenancy.
The RCM deploys a self-styled structure called the Decomptage as its chain of command. Every lieutenant is responsible for 2 sergeants and 8 officers. That means the average lieutenant has to deal with...
Try work, the case at hand. It can work miracles. Really? You look fine to me. This psychodrama is unbecoming of an officer. Then you should consider seeking medical attention. You can use the radio in my kinema to call your station's lazaret. Was there anything else you wanted? Excuse me? Detective, if I may be frank, you seem to be in a deranged state. You have trouble remembering things. You've misplaced your badge. I cannot let you act in the name of the RCM without supervision until you've regained control of your faculties. That's good. Some you time? This is a police investigation, not a journey of self-discovery. You'll still have your evenings to yourself. Please do. We wouldn't want your regiment to spill over into the investigation. Mr. Guard, right? You run this place.
Yes.
I am Kim Kitsuragi from Precinct 57. This is an inter-district investigation, so joining me from Precinct 41...
No, you cannot.
Officer, I was thinking more along the lines of your name.
What? What is this? A joke to you? Is this what you get when you call the police now? This guy? We've been waiting for a week here.
Sir, I understand your concern, but we are here to do a job. And for us to do it, I need you to stay calm.
Yes, of course.
I know it took us a while to arrive at the scene, but it also took you a while to call us. It was you who placed the call, correct?
No, I only just got here. It was probably Sylvie who called you. She usually works the bar here. I'm only temporarily taking over her duties.
Do you have her number?
As a matter of fact, I do.
You said you just got here. From where? Are you a local?
What, of Martinez? No, I live in Jamrock. I only sometimes come here to keep an eye on the place. This is just one of the many cafeterias I manage.
But you still know your way around, yes? In case we need directions.
Yes, I know where some things are, but as I said, I don't live here. I just used to work here. And I'm not going to start working here again, if that's what you think.
I didn't imply that. Detective. I have everything. You?
Yes, he means, do you have questions for me, like a police officer would? She went away because none of your business. Oh my God, what is your obsession with this Sylvie person? Get over it. Behind this building, there's a courtyard. They hoisted him up on a tree there. That's easy. See that door there? First you exit through that. Then to your right, you should see a big hole in the fence. A really big one. You can get to the courtyard through there. No need for the keys. The hole is big enough for the Franco-Nigerian cavalry to fit through. I don't know who killed him. I'm not the police. That's your job. What are you, crazy? Of course I didn't kill him.
Suddenly you tense up. Blood is being pushed to your muscles. You should hound him on this. Hound him hard. The prey drive says.
No, I didn't. I didn't. I don't appreciate this. What is this? Do I have to answer him? Is this mandatory? What are you, an idiot? I told you I haven't killed anyone.
More. Press on. Push through.
Fuck you, man.
That's enough.
That's a real pity. I don't know who killed him. I'm not the police. That's your job.
Let's go.
Not so fast. You owe me 130 real. Oh, excuse me. You owe me 130 real.
The III, or Inter-Isolary Real, is the global reserve currency. Whatever part of the world you're in right now, it's safe to assume he means you owe him some money.
No, you don't owe me street cred. You owe me money. You owe this establishment 130 real. Let's see. 3 nights at a tariff of 20 real comes to 60 real. Then there's the window you annihilated. The hole in the window was the first thing I saw when I came to work. So don't try to tell me you didn't. That will be 40 real in damages. Another thing you've annihilated is half the bar. You've run a tab of 30 real. Actually, more, but we'll round it down to 30 for your hard work maintaining the stability and order of Revachol. That's 60 plus 40 plus 30 equals, what are you, a philosopher? Money is what grown-up people use to pay for things. Things like this hostel room, or 8 bottles of potent blend, and 9. Yes, it is. No, you see, that's 40 cents. Cents are a form of currency 100 times smaller than the real. I'm not even going to take this. Come back when you have 130 real. Yes. It is.
Isn't it evil? The order of magnitude between what is asked of a person and what they have.
It does, doesn't it? You can't arrest me. I haven't done anything.
The words leave your mouth as if walking up the stairs. Everything is going fine until you reach the end and take one step too many.
Oh, so apparently I'm a bitch now. Okay, I'll be the bitch, and you'll be the broke cop who owes me money. And no one will...
Sir, leash in your tongue.
The words nail the cafeteria manager to his place. Unmoving, he stares down at the counter with his cheeks reddish.
Officer, you need to contact your station. Ask your people for assistance with the money you owe this place. There is a shortwave radio in my car. When you get the time, use it. We need to get this investigation started now.
I'm sorry, but I can't let him stay here if he doesn't pay. He's 3 days on the slip. If he doesn't have the money by tonight, he'll have to work his way home. You can look, but the union squeezed most people out of business to fund the strike. So, I don't know, your best shot is just going home.
Okay. Let's go. Goodbye, sir.
Good luck.
By the way, where is home? The address is coming up blank, and this place sure isn't it. But you've been at this hostel cafeteria for only 3 nights. Where were you before? You had to be somewhere. You don't really know, do you? South, maybe. Doesn't sound like somewhere you can stay if you run out of money. You can try. Run some addresses in your head when you get the time. Maybe a street or an apartment will appear.
Can I help you? Absolutely out of the question.
Absolutely in the question. First we find a sad banger. Then we sing this place to shit.
Do I have a shaker in my hand? Is this a shaker? Am I wearing a little bow tie? Am I wearing a bow tie and doing this? Am I smiling? Do you see me smiling and shaking my little shaker? No. Do you know why? That's right. I'm the cafeteria manager. I'm glad we cleared that. Is there any...
What you want is a goddamn drink. How is that so hard to play it calm? This man needs to understand you need a drink to help the community deal with police stuff.
Well, you're not getting it! Arsehole!
This is a thoughtful exchange, but can we move on, please?
Yes, have you got it? Like what? I was what thing? Yes, not the whole damn UN, thank God. Just the nastiest and loudest faction. They come here in the evenings, dumb, unruly types. Think they're big shit. But they're good customers. They place big orders and always pay.
We should find out who this Lord faction is, occupying the booth. Loudness means talkative, and we need info. We don't. We have to wait. They'll show up sooner or later. Men get hungry, even striking men. If not today, then they'll be here tomorrow.
What are you, a cook now? That's none of your business. He wasn't pan-fried, he was lynched. What could the kitchen possibly have to do with... Fine, okay. The kitchen is closed until 1 p.m. because the cook is working. You can snoop around after that, if you must. What?
By the way, you should come back to this thing-based questionnaire if you see anything interesting in the whirling later.
Another thing. Great. I love those, yes.
Hello again, sweetie. I see you've met up with your colleague.
The lieutenant nods. Wait, who's Sweetie?
Why, you are, officer. And have you found anyone to be sweet to?
What was with that fucking wig? Seemed neurological. Central nervous system's really banged up.
I see you are still grieving. Well, I won't pry. You must forgive me. I'm getting so scatterbrained. I completely forgot to introduce myself. I'm Lena. My husband Morel and I are staying with our friend Gary just down the street, but I come here for tea when they're away.
This Lena is wacky enough for the motley crew. Higher on the spot.
Oh, sweetie, I heard your conversation with the manager about your financial troubles. When do you get your next paycheck?
You've got guns of steel and a chiseled jaw somewhere under the bloated alcohol layer. Maybe she'd like to sponsor you. Try to force a tear out of your gut. Really rip into the whole emotional aggression thing.
Officer, get a hold of yourself, please.
Sweetie, I'm sorry, but I think you need more help than I can give you. Oh, I'm sure you would make a wonderful gigolo, dear, with those strong arms of yours, but welfare checks aren't all they cracked up to be.
She's not really lusting after those biceps, man. It's more like an appraisal you give to a healthy specimen.
You must be joking. Although our pay does sometimes feel like a joke.
It's not easy to assert your right to a decent living wage when you don't have a strong union behind you. Maybe you should talk to Everard, the union leader.
Interesting idea. This Everard sounds powerful. Maybe you can wrangle some coins out of his pocket.
Oh, no, I'm so sorry I don't have money for you. If there's anything else I can do for you, just ask. Yes, dear. I'm a paraplegic.
A paraplegic is someone with limited or no ability to use the lower half of their body. Paraplegia is caused by spinal cord injuries, like falling from a great height, or a grenade explosion.
That's quite all right. I'm used to people asking questions. I know they're thinking about it anyway. Whatever do you mean? Oh, no. I haven't smoked in years.
She shakes her head. Wait, maybe she knows where you can get cigarettes. Delicious. You would do well to follow her example. Smoking is the reason you feel like a rag. It's painful for you to even ask these questions.
You should really ask someone younger and more mobile, sweetie. I'm glad you think so, but I still don't know where you can get cigarettes. Yes, officer. You look rather dazed. Like a stunned fox. But surely things can't be that bad. Oh my. You know where we are, right? That's right. And where is the Whirling in Rags cafeteria itself located? We're in the city of Revachol, dear. Yes, and Revachol? How would I even begin to tell you? Revachol is the most beautiful city in the world. I haven't seen very many other cities personally, but everyone says so. Revachol, speaking of history, you know what year it is, yes? That's right, dear. How splendid. Here, take this pen. Knowledge should always be rewarded.
Her relief is palpable. She was getting pretty worried about you then, but now she relaxes her shoulders. Outside, the melting snow seeps into the cracks in the walls and the cobblestone streets, all the way down into the sewers. Above
I can tell that this is taxing for you, so I'll just ask one more question. What regime are we living under? What mode of government? Oh, sweetie, it's really not. There used to be people who thought that way. Other people who wanted those things, but they all went extinct. Revachol is a zone of control led by an alliance of foreign powers called the Coalition. We have almost no government of our own, and certainly no dictatorship of the proletariat.
But they still have cops.
Oh dear, this is troubling. You really ought to know that, being one yourself. There aren't any cops in Revachol, not in the traditional sense. The status of law enforcement has been a complicated matter since the revolution. But we should stop for today, sweetie. You look like you need a break. Besides, I'm not the best person to explain the big things to anyone.
She's scared now. She's realized you really are brain damaged.
You didn't do too well, dear. You really only knew what year it is. It does look like you're having trouble remembering things. History and places. Reality, in a word.
A sigh. The lieutenant buries his nose in his notebook.
But maybe a fresh set of eyes is what the world needs. And while I'm no doctor, such bouts of amnesia are often temporary, so I wouldn't worry too much. You didn't do too well, dear. You really only knew what year it is. It does look like...
A sign.
But maybe a fresh set of eyes is what defeat, I'm afraid. The people of this archipelago tried to build something new, something different. The rest of the world didn't like it, so they came and ended it. This was 42 years ago. It has something to do with everything. I really don't know how to explain it better. Someone more educated in sweeping matters.
No, I'm not an encyclopedia. I won't be a...
Of course. Then I don't know. Someone rich, maybe? Wealthy people are educated. Though I don't know where you would find a wealthy person in Martinez. Of course, dear. Good luck with your case.
A simple little cadence. He seems to be making it up as he goes.
From another planet. It's the jam, my man. It's a traffic jam for the ages. Harbor gates up the street are shut tight. No explanation given. Workers on strike, scabs agitating. An all-around clusterfuck. Meanwhile, we're all stuck here in long-haul limbo for days upon days upon days upon days. Feels near forever. Like I was born on this here roundabout and this was all I ever knew. Just me and the metal and the tires, the oil and the fumes of mazout. Yeah, imagine. It's been a whole week already. So tell me, what do you need?
A motor lorry, also called a camion, on Caillou and neighboring islands. This one looks roughed up enough to be some sort of found rust bucket. Maybe the A6. There's no denying it. Your body needs to feel the touch of some good performance wear. The man taps his fingers rhythmically again. Yup, nothing wrong with that statement. Your senses have nothing to add. You'll have to ask around elsewhere.
Ah, yes, from the Wild Pines. We'll meet her soon enough, I'm sure.
What's better than chasing transient pleasures? The more transient, the better. When one's ended, you can get onto the next one. It's easy to see he's telling the truth. He's kept his nose out of the dark stuff. There it is, a brave little army in your pocket. The first Smokes platoon. 20 brave souls standing in salute, ready to step into firefight. You picked the best one. This soldier is fat and succulent. What are you waiting for? Lighter. Re-become yourself. Get a load of this rock and roll cop hair, people. Johnny Thundercop fishes a cheap lighter out of his pants. With a flick of the thumb, there's fire. A primal satisfaction. Here we go. Repercussions. There's a high risk of glory, with a mild chance, cool genius. Smoking makes you into an intellectual. Everybody knows that. It will help you concentrate a bit. That much is true. Thick, warm smoke gets sucked down into your lungs. Immediately, you feel a warm nostalgia fill your head, body, and soul. A nostalgia for yourself, the man you were in your youth. Johnny Thundercop is back, and he's chill as balls. What did he do? You have no idea what you did a week ago. How would you know what this guy did many centuries ago? High above you, the king stands triumphantly oblivious to your memory trouble. An old call box with a matrix of push buttons lists all the companies in the East Delta Commerce Center. The smell is repulsive. It pushes in from your mouth, more instant and more familiar than anything you'd expected. More fever than odor. It fills your mind, flushing you from within. Too late. It's impossible to keep in. Your body curls and pushes it out, until a pool of vomit lies under your feet, and your throat stings from it.
It's okay. Happens to everyone. Keep it. The hangover is clearly making it worse for you. You could use some ammonia to clear your head. There is freight nearby, east of the hostel. They usually have a small apothecary. If they don't... There's a greenhouse here, and a gardener with a wheelbarrow on the corner of the whirling in rags. If she works here, she might have something for the smell.
Pretty clever.
Active decay. It's okay to throw up, officer. No one is judging.
He's about to blow! Cop's gonna blow, Kuno!
Active decay. It's okay to...
He's about to blow! Cop's gonna...
An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material, Eternite. It's nothing. Someone just left some roofing material slanted against an old shack. Because it's nice and orderly. Well-laid palette. Easy on the eyes. Rhythmic pattern calms your mind. Mammals like this stuff. It's nothing. Someone just left some roofing material slanted against an old shack. An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material